are you trying to control a situation that you are not actually in control of so that you can feel better? This is a really common response to feeling uncomfortable feelings within us. And it kind of makes sense why we think this is the approach to take. And I don't think we think about this enough or recognize this enough, but we learned this idea, this perspective from a very young age. So we don't just learn from what we're told. We learn from what we observe and experience. And what many, if not most of us, observed as children was that if an authority figure, a parent, a teacher, a caregiver was upset at you, it was your behaviors, it was your actions, it was you that was responsible for their feelings. You need to work harder so that I can feel better. You need to listen. If you just listened, I wouldn't be upset, right? And so we're learning, maybe before we can even fully consciously process and articulate these things, we're learning that our behavior impacts other people's emotions to the point that their emotions are dependent on our behavior. And so as we grow up, we believe that the root of our feelings, what we're experiencing internally, is outside of us. And if things just change outside of us, we can then feel better. Unfortunately, this isn't actually how things work. You'll notice this because a lot of the times people do say or do what we want to hear or experience, and still there's a feeling of dissatisfaction within us. That even if someone apologizes, it's not good enough. It doesn't feel as good. You shouldn't have done it in the first place. We're always finding more excuses and more reasons to feel the way we're feeling because we're habituated in the feeling. So it's not the things outside of us that need to change. It's the practiced experience of feeling what we're feeling that we need to shake up, break up, and change. And so I have a client who reached out to me recently, who I worked with a few years ago, and she shared her experience, and it's a really powerful one. I had 2 sessions with her, so I'm just going to share the first part of the letter. I'll share the rest of her experience and then another video, but I'll just share what she said. She said, "Hi, Michelle, it's been a while since I saw you for professional services, but I have wanted to contact you to express my appreciation and give you an update on the success that you had with me even to this day. I wanted to let you know that my first session on fear, to do with internal organs vibrating constantly because of a fear that I would be told that my daughter was no longer alive, I no longer have this problem. Even though I am still aware that this could happen, but I believe that my subconscious mind is now processing in a way that I can cope without this intense fear taking over my body. Thank you." So I love this story because this client actually reached out to me to deal with her daughter. She wanted her daughter to contact me. Her daughter was dragging her feet. I think she actually wanted me to ultimately reach out to her daughter to try to convince her to work with me, which that's not going to be an effective process. Unfortunately, the type of work I do involves a willingness and a desire to participate in your own change work. So if you're not ready and willing and keen to do this work, it's not going to be a very beneficial process. So I told this lovely woman, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to work with her daughter because I just didn't think it was going to be a good fit, but I could help her deal with her anxiety and fears. And she decided to take me up on it. And those were her results. So she shifted from the perspective that I am trying to control what's going on around me. She could have said, "No, I don't want your help making me feel better. I want you to fix my daughter. Help my daughter. That's going to be the thing that needs to be dealt with." But she recognized that it's her who's feeling these feelings and having this experience, and she doesn't have to suffer. So we did a single session. This was a few years ago before I created my 3-month transformation program. But we did a single session on the fear, and she worked through the limiting beliefs, the root cause of this experience, of why she was in such a dysregulated state and this chronic state of anxiety. And unsurprisingly, it came down to childhood things and the need for control. The instability that made her feel so unsafe within her body from a young age just perpetuated over and over again throughout her whole life, so that she was constantly looking for that stability outside of her to feel better. But she realized it came from the inside, made the transformation, and her life has changed. So you can do this too. It may feel out of reach. You may feel like you're overwhelmed with anxiety and fear and stress and chronic worrying, but you have the power to uncover what is actually at the root of that. And I promise you, it's not outside of you. It's in here. It's in your body and it's in your mind in a way that you can't consciously comprehend right now. And this is why we use hypnotherapy, to get to the actual root, the origin story, if you will, of this feeling, so that we can really process it and let it go for good without anything outside of you having to change. So if you're ready to do that, if you're done trying to control the uncontrollable and you're ready to face the reality that I can change this and it's within me and I have the ability, the power, the capacity, the resources to do that, reach out to book a free consultation with me and we can chat more about working together. Okay, I am wishing you all the very best. Take care.